We are discussing a very important subject. For anybody in academia, in any profession, stage comes when you want to publish your research, you want to share your ideas, thoughts, and organize them. Now, if you're going to publish them in physical format or increasingly in the digital format, there's a whole structure in which one must do it. Otherwise, it won't get published. So, to discuss this is Professor Anetta Čaplánová from Slovakia, University of, I'm just saying Slovakia, but I think the exact name is different. You can correct me, at Bratislava. It's a very, very fine part of the world. Pleasant, people are pleasing, and for a small company, a small country, compared to India, their achievements are quite high. She's very experienced in this field. So I said, like, the topics we might want to cover, given her wide experiences, what are the effective strategies for publishing? What are the aims with what you start? What are the ethical considerations required by profession as well as a professional yourself? Books have been published for a very long time. Now the e-books coming up, so maybe are there any special considerations in e-books? It is quite fast evolving, and there are digital platforms. There is the ISTOR platform, there is the Google Scholar platform. Now, one of the things about these publications is that some places you can get it fast, but the normal process is not in days or weeks. It is in months, sometime going on to the year. Publications are a benchmark for advancements. On the other hand, a job which is done incomplete or ethically not right can be thrown around the bull, thrown around the neck, which will diminish one's career or otherwise. Now then, there are high impact journals, there are the open access journals. The dilemma is that open access journals are faster, but the credibility varies. And there can also be other considerations, including having to pay to publish in them. Publish or perish is a syndrome long known in the West, and sometimes it can lead to what we might say undue career stresses. And if you are not publishing enough and at the right time, you kind of get behind in the race. Now, just on the practical aspect, preparing the manuscripts, topic selection has to be very sharp. This is commonsensical, but then it defines how you work also. So one has to develop that skill also. And literature review, of course, has to be thorough at the time when one is doing it. So also the methodology. And there are a lot of methodological improvements now, given that data analysis has become far, far superior. There is the importance of clarity, organization, thoroughness. Then in terms of the manuscript structure, this is something which again has existed for a very long time. Title followed by abstract, followed by introduction, and so on. Of course, now one can add infographics to illustrate one's methodology, etc. One uses bullet points. Now again, these things sound very ordinary. Oh, but it's very important. Many presentations we see are full of statements and quotes, long quotes, and so on and so forth. While bullet points would make it far easier. But to make good bullet points is also a skill. So this is all I have learned from you, from your earlier lecture. And then, of course, we come to the inevitable ethical consideration on which you will speak. Peer review process is there. It can be blind, double-blind review process. Then, of course, feedback, revisions, then submission. There are some best practices about copy editing, formatting, proofreading. And in the conclusion, you might want to spend some time on the key takeaways of your discussion today. the strategic approach, the ethical standards, and the quality. I particularly am mentioning this because we have mostly honors degrees here. They are research degrees. And the students are not that familiar. So also are some faculty who are not very familiar. Secondly, there is a big opportunity that these people do their major research projects and all that. If guided well and put on broad lines, this is a massive research manpower, or woman power also, in the country. Millions of them. On the other hand, if they are not careful and they think they can get away with it, the software will catch them very fast, end up destroying their careers. So, with a somewhat longish introduction, I invite you to speak on whichever part you think deserves more emphasis, because in 10-12 minutes, of which we have got your time, that's all we can manage.
Thank you very much, Professor, for this introduction of the topic I am to speak about. And thank you also for inviting me to this presentation and to the lecture at Mary College, which I gave earlier on the aspect of academic publishing. It is an honor to be here already for the second time. I had the opportunity to visit your college last year, and it is very nice to be back and to discuss this very relevant topic with scholars and students of your college. You mentioned crucial points which need to be considered when thinking about how to succeed in academic publishing. I would just like to comment on some of them. First, as came out also from the discussion after my talk, it is important to start with a good research topic, to think about how the research undertaken by a researcher can contribute to the literature, to the knowledge available in the field, but also how it can contribute to improving our societies. Because when we talk about social science research, it is important not to forget that we are to save our societies or serve our societies, and we are to facilitate their progress. So the topic should be current, should be relevant for our societies, and it should be interesting for the researcher. I think this is a key point which creates good potential for research to be successful. Then methodology of the research should be sound. We see students, I think, globally, not only in the context of my own university, that they frequently carry out a qualitative type of research or collect data and then try to analyze them using relevant methods. But for coming to relevant conclusions, the data must be valid and they must be of high quality. So next step in the research process would be to specify the methodology clearly and to collect data or to do the theoretical work which is sound and replicable. And then, of course, students, researchers need to disseminate their research. And this is when the academic publications and academic publishing and the topic of publishing come forward. And we discussed it during the talk and the event this morning, that this is a very challenging issue because we face a fierce competition when trying to publish in well-established, high-quality journals, because there is the pressure to publish put on doctoral candidates, on young researchers, postdocs, and more senior faculty as well. So it is important not to forget that there are rules to the academic publishing as well. It is crucial to have high quality research. It is crucial to have results which contribute to the literature. But it is also crucial to follow best practice steps in academic publishing. And that would include, as you mentioned, choosing a correct journal, a proper journal for our research, preparing the manuscript in a sound way aligned with the requirements of the publisher, structuring the piece of research according to standards common in academia, observing ethical rules and complying with ethical integrity practices, but also in the process of the review, responding to reviewers' comments, taking them seriously, and improving the research paper based on those comments. So I think it's challenging, but it's also exciting because this is the process which can help researchers to progress in their academic careers, which can open up exciting opportunities for them in academia and beyond, for instance, in the policy domain. And last but not least, it can also and should also contribute to making our lives and the lives of people in our countries and globally better. And as we discussed, the sustainability also more sustainable and build up more sustainable societies for us.
Professor Anetta, there's been very, very good coverage, broad paintbrush. Do you have any specific advice for our young researchers here, John, with your wide experience?
Yeah. I think what I started with is very important. Your students and any students actually are at the beginning of their careers. So I would suggest to think whether going into research field is something they really want, because it's an important step in their life to decide whether they would go, for instance, to business, to the private sector, or they would remain in academia. And if they are passionate about learning, if they are passionate about trying to progress in their field academically, then they should carry on and consider the research careers. But if they are not sure, maybe the best would be to consider the business career first, to get the business experience, and perhaps if they feel that craving and longing for academia, they could return back and carry on with their doctoral degree later on, because I think to get the exposure to the business sector and to real economies, it is very important for academics as well. So that would be maybe something I would emphasize. It's not directly linked to publishing, but I think it's an important aspect. If you are young and consider what career you want to follow, think what suits you better. Think about gaining the industry exposure, and if you are still sure that research and academic career is the best option for you, make use of your experience, come back and share your experience and knowledge with students of the next generations, and also engage in socially and business or relevant research.
Thank you very much, Professor. It's been a pleasure, and I hope with this we will expand our associations between the universities and the institutes. And I think it's on meeting only person to person that everybody does things virtually, so you don't come to know the people, the warmth of the people, and the capacity also. So we hope that this association becomes longer, more solid. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I definitely hope that we can carry on and expand cooperation between our two institutions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.